Seeberger Show, starring Tommy Rooney, Cameron Williams, Jake Luce, Sean Rooney, Martin Weisz, Mo Ken, Scott McCabe, Anthony Rooney, Sam Massaro, and Sandy Weisz.
Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs Show's Week 14 NFL show. Got a full barn, and we're going to go ahead and get right into the Dallas Cowboys going to Landover, Maryland to face the Washington Football Club. We're going to go ahead and start with Scott because this is his team, his game. Ahmed couldn't be here today. Thoughts and prayers are with Ahmed and his family. But Scott is going to go ahead and lead us off here with the Dallas Cowboys.
Just best wishes to Ahmed and his family, and hope everything's well there. In terms of the game, I got to roll my Cowboys here. I can't go any other way. It would just be rude to. Come on, Thursday night football against the Saints. I won't lie. Pretty disappointed with that performance. I was expecting a lot more. Dak had all his weapons at his disposal. Yeah, Zeke's dealing with a slight injury at the moment. I feel like I'm just saying, look, give Tony Pollard the carries. He's more electric. He's showing more. I want to see more of Tony. Give Zeke the time to heal, and maybe he can be the back that just punches it in for us. But I just wasn't really convinced, and I was expecting more. There was a Mari Cooper on that pitch. There was CeeDee Lamb, and there was Michael Gallup, and we didn't look great. I won't lie, on offense. I'll tell you what won us that game. The defense won us that game. And I think that was partly down to the fact that Mike McCarthy was dealing with COVID. So Dan Quinn was calling the shots, hence the defensive game that we kind of had. But saying that there was 4 interceptions thrown by Taysom Hill. And look, we won't sit here and say Taysom Hill elite. I won't do that because I know some Cowboys fans.
He's not even a quarterback.
I look. This is what I'm saying. I ain't gonna sit here and go, oh, yeah, Taysom Hill's this, he's that. We didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say Mahomes, but Mahomes loves throwing picks this season. But look, it was 4 interceptions. Defense won us that game. I was very impressed. And you know what? The quarterback we got next week, Taylor Heineke. What you got, man? I think he's going to throw a pick. I don't want it on my card, but I think it's going to happen. Logan Thomas has recently just been put on the injured reserve as well, so I think that's just another weapon. And I don't trust that Washington offense. I think the Dallas offense is a lot better than that Washington offense. I think their weapons are poor. The run game, I just don't like it. It's not bad with McKissick and Gibson, but it's not as good as Dallas. I don't think it is, and I don't think their weapons are as good. And the Cowboys have DeMarcus Lawrence back, which I like, and he showed a lot of energy, and he gave that defense just another kick and just get us that gear that we're missing. And please, just for a moment, can we shout out Micah Parsons? That man is on fire at the moment. He's just been phenomenal. So, and electric. And I think he's gone from a player who we were looking at, defensive rookie of the year to possibly, defensive player of the year. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying he's getting into that stage because he's been so good. And just one final point, I think a really interesting angle on this game is that the fact that Dallas's next 3 opponents are Washington, New York Giants, and then Washington again. So, we'll see how this one pans out, but I got to go on my Cowboys here. Cowboys -4, and give me the under, please. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go for Cowboys -4 here. I think the Cowboys are just a better team, and they've shown they're a better team. And the football team has gotten away with a lot on defense and offense lately. They scored 17 points in the last 2 games. The last 2 games were the exact same score, 17-15. Under 48.5. The divisional unders have been quite hot this year. And I feel like when teams are playing, especially in the NFC East, has gotten a lot tighter than I think Dallas has anticipated. Now they have the Eagles winning some games, and they have the football team on a 4-game streak. They're coming in hot, and the Cowboys have lost a couple games. They've won a couple games. They're all right. They're in the driver's seat right now, but they've got a little more to take care of. So I think it's gonna be a tighter played game. I'm gonna go under 48.5 here. And the last thing I want to say is I do like Tony Pollard to have kind of a breakout game. I picked him up for my fantasy playoffs this week. He's been unbelievable lately, and I think the Cowboys are going to carry the momentum. They didn't play amazing against the Saints. Taysom Hill throwing 4 picks, who is not a quarterback, certainly didn't help the Saints. But if you think without those 4 picks, the game could have been a lot different. I think if the Cowboys defense shows up to play and their offense just plays average, this is going to be an easy win for the Cowboys.
I was just gonna tail them on the under pick. I'm taking the Cowboys. They're getting 2 defensive starters back, Neville Gallimore and Randy Gregory, both back to bolster that defensive line. Micah Parsons is playing lights out. The secondary obviously needs a little bit of help, but I think if they can get after the quarterback, Taylor Heineke's going to have a rough night. So I'm going to take the under, but I'm also going to take the Cowboys.
The football team, +4. They've won 4 straight, and I like the football team.
Can we get the weather, please?
Hello?
It's important. Did we just glitch out?
Eden, are you alive?
Yes.
Can I, what?
He said, "Can we get the weather?" That was your cue.
Oh, I didn't hear. Sorry.
Oh,
So
goodness.
the game's going to be in Maryland. There's going to be sunny skies with a high of 49 and a low of 30. The winds are going to be up to 15 miles per hour.
Okay.
All right, so the game's going to be in Maryland. Crab cakes and Cowboys -4. That's what Maryland does. Look for Diggs and Parsons to create a couple turnovers. Too much firepower on that offense. Heineke, I think, is going to have a rough day. Dallas -4. Lock it in.
All right, I'll go ahead and jump in here. What'd you say, Sean?
I said no one's believing in Heineke. I said I believe.
Yeah. No, I do too. And that's why I'm taking the Washington football team here. +4 points. I think it's too many points. I think the Washington football team is on the up. And Scott, I think the Dallas Cowboys are on the down. I will also be taking the under 48 here. I believe that the under is hit in 5 of the Cowboys' last 6, and the under is hit in 6 of the last 7 of Washington's games.
I'm taking my hometown Washington football team +4 points against a declining Cowboys team. They just beat the Raiders on the road. They're 4 wins in a row. They got the Seahawks, the Buccaneers, the Raiders, and the Panthers. 2 of those on the road. They're scorching hot. And the Cowboys, honestly, are the exact opposite. The Cowboys had a tough loss against the Raiders, we're forgetting the comparison there. The Raiders against the Raiders on Thanksgiving at home. I like the under. The Redskins have been playing very paced. They've been playing very slow. They've had ball control. They've had 9-minute drives, and they've been in control of these games with a good running game. The defense has been playing well. So football team +4 at home and the under.
I think some very good things have been said. But with that being said, the Cowboys are clearly the better team here. Washington football offense is not good. They don't have a run game like they did last year. And I don't believe in Taylor Heineke. I think he's just okay. They clearly can't score points. I think the under is hit in their last 6 games. So I'm also taking the under, but Cowboys -4.
All right. Well, with that, we will go ahead and get into game 2 here. It's going to be a potential game of the year candidate, although Sean did tell us that the game of the year was going to be Bills Patriots this past Monday.
Hey, it was entertaining.
That was one of the most interesting games I've ever watched. But hey, this game should be very different than that game. This will be in Tampa, Florida. Eden, what's the weather going to be like?
So it's going to be a cloudy game with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 60. We got winds up to 50 miles per hour. I mean, 15.
Whoa.
Excuse me, 15.
Holy shit.
Wait,
She's
what?
still hungover from the last game. She's still hungover from the last game. I can go first if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Get in there.
I mind.
You mind?
Yeah.
Would you like to go? Would you like to go first?
First. Yeah.
Absolutely. Since you want to bust my chops about it.
Yeah. Mr. Overs, I'm taking the under.
You're taking the under. Go ahead. Go. Please plead your case. Please plead your case.
All right. Well, the spread was 3.5 or 3.
3.
I'm taking the Bills +3. Must-win game. Tough loss last week. I mean, nothing you can do about it. It was clearly a weather factor. And like I stated last week, it was who's going to be able to run the ball better, and the Patriots did. That's all they did.
The weather report that Eden just put out, that's Josh Allen football weather. Josh Allen this is the game of the year. He's going to have the game of his career against Tampa Bay. The over is going to hit over 53.5 points. It's going to be a wonderful showing for both teams, but I'm also going to take the Bills +3. I think they can win outright, but I'm hopeful for a shootout. I've been looking for a high scoring NFL game. Haven't really seen one since like that Vikings Packers affair, which wasn't really ideal. But I'm looking forward to watching this game. I have Buffalo +3 in it, and can't wait to see Josh Allen do some good work, score some points. So like over 53.5.
I'm going to piggyback both you guys and go with Bills +3. I agree with Tony that it's a must-win game for the Bills. I mean, they're 7-5 now, right? You can't be treading around 500 when you're a Super Bowl favorite. But I don't think we can take a lot from Monday night's loss against the Patriots. Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times, and they ended up winning the game. I think that's just crazy. And I think that came down to coaching and game planning for a game that they knew was going to be crazy with all the weather and stuff. But at the same time, I think the Bucs have been battling injuries for a while now. They don't look like the Bucs that they did last year. They've looked really good at times. And they've also looked not that amazing at times. But yeah, I think Josh Allen's gonna have a huge game. He's gonna throw a ball out of the stadium. Buffalo's offense, besides last week, I think we throw away last week's game for any kind of value purposes. But besides record. But yeah, I think the Bills offense is gonna kind of feast out here, and this is gonna be a big Bills comeback game. Bills +3.
Well, I'm not. I'm going to go opposite direction from all three of you boys. I'm trusting Brady in this one. I think it was a dominant win over the Falcons. Yeah, once again, come on. It was Atlanta Falcons, nothing special there, but it never looked in doubt. And I just think the Bills, or sorry, not the Bills, the Bucs, they just look like the better football team at the end of the day. And that's what I think it's going to come down to. Who's the better football team? That's what every game comes down to. Although in that Pats Bills game was just a messy one, and it was coaching. The run was clearly what was going to win that game, and the Bills just looked clueless. They couldn't stop the run. And who's on the flip side of that run this game? It's Leonard Fournette, a man who's had 5 touchdowns his last 2 games. I mean, come on. So I'd like to get Leonard Fournette on my card anytime touchdown score. I think there's a high chance that's going to hit. I like the Bucs in this one purely just because I agree. I think that Josh Allen could have a good game here, but I'm just like, no, I like the Bucs more in this one. And I just think the Bills haven't been the AFC contender I was hoping for this year. They just don't look the same. And I think that performance against the Pats really showed them for what they are, and they're a team without a run game. And I think very quickly the Bucs are going to figure this out and be like, well, we take out Diggs, you're more or less canceling out this Bills offense. So I'm going to go with the Bucs -3, and I'm going to take the under as well, please.
I'll go ahead and go for this game here. I'm taking the Bucs -3. The Bills are not who we thought they were going to be. I knew that after week 1, as did Sean, as did Tony. Tampa Bay is 4-2 against the spread in their last 6, and Buffalo is 3-7 against the Bucs in their last 10 matchups. This is in Tampa. This is Brady in his backyard. I forget who said it. I think Martin said that Tampa is Josh Allen weather. So was Jacksonville, and they scored 6 points. I like the Bills. No, I like the Bucs -3, and I'm not touching the total. Although I will say there is some good data that goes toward the under. I'm not going to touch it, but Bucs -3.
I'm going with Tommy again. I'm going Bucs -3. Brady versus Allen. I'm taking Brady at home. The Bucs are scorching hot at home this year. They've struggled on the road, but they're such a good home team. And the Bucs are, as Tommy said, just not who we thought they were. Have struggled against teams that we thought that they would beat. Have gotten blown out by the Colts, and it's just been kind of ugly the last few weeks. And I think the Bucs are heating up.
I like that me and Keenan are on the same side because Keenan's been hot. Like, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel good about my picks.
Your boy's been hot too. You trailed me last week and it worked.
The thing is, though, like, whenever someone has a really good week, typically the next week is horrible. So if, I think
true.
Sam
Not
probably
true.
had the best week.
Not over
true.
here.
Tony's on a steam train.
I was
man.
4 for 4 the last week, and then I went 3-1 this week. So
All right, well, you're the exception. But I think Sean's had 2 different occasions over the course of the 14 weeks where he's hit every bet one week and then missed every bet the next week. I think that's
Well,
happened.
Sean's a completely different story.
All right, Sean, do you want to go ahead and go for this game?
Yeah, I got the Bucs. I like Brady, and I think they'll win.
Yeah,
He's
Sean is the
putting
Barry
finals
Bonds.
over content. He's putting finals over content.
Sean is the Barry Bonds of these picks. He either hits it out of the park or strikes out, no in between. Here's the deal. Huge game for the Bills here. I think if they lose this game, that locker room is going to be depressed because they're going to lose to the Patriots again in a few weeks. And their whole morale is going to be just drawn completely out of them. And I hate this bet. I hate it, but I'm going to take the Bills. I think they rebound. It's risky. It's ballsy, but I'm going with them. Josh Allen, please show up. Please make me look good. I also like the over. 2 high-powered offenses. Bills over. That is all.
We go to game 3. Los Angeles Rams are going to Arizona for a pivotal divisional game against the Cardinals. We are going to go ahead and start with Eden. I believe that the weather is going to be a huge factor in this game. So, Eden.
So it is a dome game. So
Oh, my bad.
Weather does not account in this game.
Great job. Trick question.
All right. So the Arizona Cardinals are -2.5 in this game. The total is 51.5. Does anybody want to go ahead and start this one off for us?
Another Rams. They got to win this game in order to stay in the division. Cardinals offense has been scaring me a little bit. I know the Bears turned the ball over a shit ton last week. They also got some problems stopping the run. David Montgomery ran all over them. And, the Rams they don't really have a good back, but I really like their offense. They look like they got some stuff going against the Jags. I like the Rams +2.5.
I love it. I love it, Tony. I'm going to bring in the Bears for one time this episode and just say that the Bears did hand them that victory last week. They put up 22 points they put up 22 points while throwing 4 interceptions. And the people were like, "Oh, well, I knew the Cardinals had it in them." No. The Cardinals did not play great at all. The Cardinals got handed everything that came to them. Cole Kmet literally is on the ground with a ball in his hands and throws it up to a corner for basically a pick six. We came back with the 10-yard line. But I'm going to keep this short. The Rams did get their rhythm back versus Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville. Say whatever you want to say. The Rams are a good team. I think they're finally starting to find something again. Sean McVay's too good of a coach. Matt Stafford's too good of a quarterback. They have too many weapons not to kind of find some kind of groove again. And I think the Cardinals are kind of overrated. They haven't won decisively that many times. And I feel like these close games have kind of come up to hurt them sometimes. But yeah, I'm going with Rams +2.5 here. I think the Rams are going to win this game by probably more than a touchdown. I would say a touchdown, but I'm going to go with the over as well. I think both teams are going to come out firing, especially like you said, with Murray having D-Hop back, and they kind of treaded lightly with Murray's workload last week, as he only threw the ball a couple times and threw for 150 yards or something. But yeah, I think they're going to kind of come out full force here. Rams are going to come out firing with that offense. It's going to be a tight divisional game. I normally hate divisional overs, and I don't like to take the under, but I think this could be an exception. I'm going to go Rams +2.5, over 51.5.
I'm gonna roll with it. Well, I always love going after Sam because it's just seems to be what I do, and I just completely diss everything he's just said. But I won't. Well, no, I will. It was really good of the NFL to give the Cardinals another bye week. Last week against the Bears because they look like they're
not wrong. They're not wrong.
They were pretty comfortable, and as Tommy so rightly said, that was Kyler's first game back, and boy did he look good, and boy did DeAndre Hopkins look good. So
Kyler look good.
He did. He didn't look as rusty as I thought he would.
He threw 180 yards.
Yeah, but he was getting touchdowns, man.
Yeah, with bad weather, he's 5'9". For God's sake, cut him some fucking slack.
He was nippy, man. He was.
DeAndre Hopkins was jumping over Kindle Vildora. Let's relax here.
Doesn't it? Yeah, he got into the end zone. That's all I'm going to say. First, can we get Stafford out of this MVP race as well? He's not at that caliber. I don't believe. And I think if Kyler didn't get injured, who knows? He could be in that race. I think that's going to affect his chances.
It's Brady.
But I don't think
put money on Brady. It's going to be Brady.
Brady, it's a solid one, I suppose. But I just don't think this Rams team is performing. And Sam mentioned the Jags game there. Yeah, they can beat the Jags, but they can't beat the Packers. And the games that count, they're not really making the most of it from what I've seen. And this team just looks unpredictable. They're too reliant on Cooper Kupp. We've no Robert Woods now. To be fair to Odell Beckham, he grabbed the touchdown in his last game, and Van Jefferson is looking well. But I don't like the Rams in this one. And the last time these two teams met, Cardinals got the better of them. So I'm going to take the Cardinals -2.5. I'm going to take the under. And James Conner, he looked very good against the Bears. And the last time he didn't get a touchdown was week 6 against the Browns. So I think he gets one in the desert.
Some can argue that the Packers are the best team in the league. The Rams lost to them. Cardinals beat them. So
Cardinals lost.
The Cardinals beat the Packers.
No, he threw a pick at the end.
Oh, he did.
They probably should have beat him, but they did.
They both lost to them. But
Sean, if Jake wasn't there, I would have absolutely believed you. You said that with such confidence. Keep it up.
I was questioning myself there.
Well, the Rams lost by multiple scores, and
It was by 8.
they lost by 10.
8.
I just pulled up the game.
It was 36-28. Okay, so I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let him have his fucking moment. I'm gonna shut up. Go.
All right, I got the Cardinals.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for coming.
Nice.
I'll go. I'm taking Cardinals -2.5. I think the Rams are a similar situation to the Bills. I think early season Super Bowl contenders, but they're just not who we thought that they were. I took the Packers -1 on the show 2 weeks ago, and I'm taking the Cardinals now. I'm going against the Rams again. They're just on the road. I saw a stat today that the home team on Monday Night Football is 10-1 in the last 11 games. I'm taking the Cardinals minus 2.5. I don't think the Rams have put all the pieces together yet. I kind of like the over because I believe the over hit last time the two played, but I'm not super sure on that. But I do like Cardinals minus 2.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the over did hit. I'm taking the over as well. The Rams are first in the NFL in yards per play. I'm taking the Rams plus 2.5 as well. I just think that this is a much more important game for the Rams than it is for the Cardinals. Cardinals can afford to lose. They have the best record in the league. Rams need this one. They've been on a slump, and so I think hungry dogs, in this case, are going to run faster. And I think the over hits, dome game, Monday Night Football game, big offenses, McVay, Kingsbury. I just think that's an over type game. So those are my picks.
I like Rams plus 2.5. They got to figure it out. This will be a big game for it. I'm not touching the over under. I'm just going Rams plus 2.5. Go ahead, Jake.
All right. I'm making this pick same logic as the Bills game. If the Bills lose to the Bucks, their season's kind of over. They're going to know in that locker room, hey, they're not good enough. Same thing with the Rams. Everything Tommy just said times 10. First in yards per play. Arizona's defense is a little bit shaky. I think the Rams have to win. Odell, he might be back. 2 touchdowns 2 weeks. I like what I'm seeing. Or maybe it was 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games. I like the Rams. I'm not going to touch the total. Scares me. Just give me the Rams. Hopefully I'm right. I picked the exact opposite of everything Sean said this week. That was not on purpose. So either he's a genius or I'm an idiot or vice versa. So we're going to have to figure this out. But yeah, Rams plus 2.5.
Let me add one more thing, a piece of data. The Cardinals last week scored 3 or 4 touchdown drives against the Bears. The first one was a 28-yard drive. Second one was a 20-yard drive. Third one was a full 75. The next one was a 12-yard drive. Okay, that's all the data you need.
You're telling me the Bears suck. All right.
Yeah, that's where we're getting.
I'm not here to defend the Bears. We're not picking the Bears.
God, I didn't watch that fucking game. That's
We're not picking the Bears. I'm just giving a piece of data for the people to sit on, for the people to simmer on.
I can't believe a Cardinals-Rams game related to the Bears somehow. Love this. Love it.
Well, the Cardinals did play the Bears last week.
They did.
They have got a Bears quote. He's got to drop that name.
It kind of does relate.
All right. It is time for the best part of the show. We are going to go ahead and get into our locks of the week.
I'm going to make this quick. Never mind. I'm going Seattle minus 7. I'm going Seattle minus 7 over Houston. This is a locks. Houston sucks. They are so bad. I said this last week. I took Indianapolis as the lock over them. They're bad, and they just proved me right. The Seahawks played a great game against San Francisco last week. Russ looks healthy. I think the Seahawks have a little something to win a couple games. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they have something going here. And Houston keeps getting these single-digit spreads. I don't know why, and you would think they might cover a couple of them, but they don't. So Seattle minus 7.
Titans off 2 embarrassing losses in a bye week, injuries everywhere. They got a chance to lick their wounds, get back on track. They're playing the Jaguars. The Jaguars suck. 8.5 is a big number, but you got to eat it. Titans minus 8.5. That's my lock. Thank you.
That was incredibly efficient. And I'm gonna go big here. You know, I got the Bears. The Bears are involved in my lock of the week, Sam. And
good one.
I'm not taking Packers minus 12.5, and I'm not taking Bears plus 12.5. I'm taking the over. ESPN just dropped. It's over 43.5 points.
Oh yeah, I like that.
They just dropped the bombshell. What'd you say, Keenan?
43.5 for the
Bears Packers.
The last two games they've played have been like 60-point games.
That's not true because they played earlier this season when Rodgers did that thing where he said, "I own the Bears."
Yeah, that was like a 50-point game, wasn't it? Or
38.
24, yeah, 24.
Oh fuck!
The data for both teams is a little bit conflicting. Justin Fields is back, which honestly I don't know if that means I think they're going to score more or less. Long story short, I think the Packers and the Bears are a historic rivalry, and they owe us as NFL fans a damn good game. I don't want to see some some 17-9 affair. Like I'm hopeful for like, something in the 30s, and most likely by the Packers, respectfully, Sam. But I like Packers Bears over 43.5 for my lock of the week.
Well, look, there's going to be a rumble in the jungle this week because the Bengals are so hard and cold to predict. They're very, very hard. It was a bad loss to the Chargers. I sat here and I really thought that the Bengals were going to win that one. It was really disappointing. They got off to a slow start as soon as Joe Mixon fumbled that ball, and Chargers ran it back for 6 points. That was it. Game done. And the Bengals just didn't look like they could come back from it. And I think they've got to prove themselves this week as an AFC playoff team. And I'm expecting it. And they're playing a 49ers team that, to be honest, Sam, I know you said the Seahawks played well, but the Seahawks haven't been it this season. They've been pretty damn poor. And they lost to the Seahawks, the 49ers. So I'm going to take the Bengals. They're at home, plus 1.5. I like it.
It's a little old team down in Atlanta. All right. They're playing the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
How the hell are the Carolina Panthers minus 2.5? Team is ass. They got a quarterback whose name's Cam Newton or PJ Walker, or I don't even know who the third guy is. Either way, better than what they got. Falcons offense actually has not been horrible as of recently. They seems like they're getting yards, they're getting points. I like the Falcons plus 2.5 here. They're still in the hunt, and they need this win. Simple.
I'll go ahead and jump in here. I just want to comment on Tony's pick right there. I really like that pick. I think the Cordell, however you say it, Patterson should get MVP votes. Not saying that he should win, but in terms of value to a football team, I don't know if there's a guy that is asked more of than him in the league. But my lock of the week is the New Orleans Saints, led by Taysom Hill, going against the New York Jets. Saints are minus 5.5. I'm going to double up here on my lock and try to take the lead in the standings. I'm taking the under in this game as well, 43 points. So the Jets gave up 200 yards to the Eagles last week on the ground, rushing. New York has allowed the third most rushing yards and the most rushing touchdowns this season. In the 5 games that Taysom Hill has led the New Orleans Saints, they have averaged over 170 yards on the ground in each one of them. I like this game to go very, very, very quickly, run the ball, under 43, Saints cover minus 5.5. Thank you.
My lock of the week is actually going to be the Cincinnati Bengals plus 1.5 at home. I think they're going to come back off a tough loss against the Chargers. I think they're going to rebound. Joe Burrow had a tough week. The turnovers were kind of fluke last week with the Jamar Chase interception that he dropped and popped in the air for the San Diego Chargers to catch. And then there was a fumble that seemed pretty fluke as well. So I like the Bengals plus 1.5 at home against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
Are you?
I like that you guys are taking the Bengals here. That's good for the Steelers because Bengals are dead.
What's Eden's pick?
Yeah, Eden, do you have a lock this week?
Take
Yeah.
the Bears.
No.
Take the Bears, Aiden. Take the Bears.
Who is it, Eden?
Don't listen to him.
Take the
Can I go Cowboys minus 4?
Oh, yes.
Horrible.
Oh, boo.
Easy money.
Horrible
all
pick.
day, every day.
Bad.
All day, every day.
I convinced you.
To go the other way and pick a different team.
The football team plays notoriously close games. They're going to do it again. They're going to pull it out at the end.
Oh, God.
Or cover. Great teams
All
covered.
right.
Shout out
Last
Brian
night.
Johnson. Shout out Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
help,
Shout out BJ.
No perp.
help, perp,
Hell perp.
Help her, baby.
help, perp.
Okie dokie. I was looking at the sheets. I'm not a fan of any of the games. And I thought, you know what? Lions hit last week.
Oh my God.
Move of the century.
No way.
Play.
Back to back on Motor City game.
Let's say over the Broncos. Got the Lions.
That could happen.
I like that. I hope you enjoy the games this weekend. I hope that you consider liking and subscribing. And I hope that you enjoy the Christmas season. Happy birthday to Scott. Scott is now 21. Scott is coming to America.
Thank you, boys.
We are very pumped. Scott is going to be in that studio that Sean and Jake are in at some point. And so, yeah, we're pumped for that.
Let's go. Can't wait to see the boys. Let's go. Let's have a good one. Let's have a good week, boys. Let's get some wins. Let's get going.
Have some wins.
Like and subscribe.